Hello, hello. Hi, everyone. Awesome. Just letting everybody in. Looks like got a lot of people coming in. Awesome. Hello, Christian. Hi, Nick. Hi, Dee Dee. Hi, Samsung. Hi, Rose. Hi, Betty. Hello, hello. Hey, Mike. Hey, Kate. All right. I'm trying to let everybody in, but they keep pouring in. So it's taking a second. All right. Let's do this, shall we? Hi, Patty. Hi, Carmen. Okay, I do want to jump in because we got a lot to go over. New Mexico. Hello, Jennifer. Hi, Kim. Okay, I do want to dig in, even though I know we have people kind of cycling in because we got a lot to cover today. I'm really excited. Before we get started, I just want to say, probably hold your questions to the end just because there will be probably, I feel like they'll be answered. I know what most of the questions are at this point. And so I want to dig in. I want to give you guys a glimpse. The point of today's workshop is really to give you guys a glimpse of like what it looks like, what it feels like to be a copywriter. So you know, like if you like it, if it seems like something you'd be excited about, as well as kind of talking about just like the industry, AI, all that jazz. So let me just, instead of sorry, there's still people like pouring in. Let's just kind of like dig on in actually. So yeah, I would say probably save your questions towards the end because there's a good chance it will be answered. Definitely have a pen and paper because we're going to be working through a workbook together. Yeah, I think that's it. So let's just get started, shall we? Okay. So here we go. So today we're going to be talking about kind of a day in the life of a copywriter, what that looks like. A lot of people I know when they're considering becoming a copywriter, like that's the thing that they wonder. They're like, is this something I would like? Like, what does it look like? So, if you've ever wondered, like, what is it like to be a copywriter? Would I even like it? How much money could I make? And how is AI impacting the industry? Like, that is definitely what I want you guys to walk away with, feeling like you have a solid understanding about, obviously within an hour. And then we are going to, and then the other thing that I want to give you is not only I'm going to give you two things. One, a workbook. I'll give it to you at the end that you can also go through and continue some of the exercises you're going to see today. But also at the end, I'm going to give you an opportunity to get a really valuable resource. This is usually sold for about $200 to get your first copywriting client, so you can see exactly what that process looks like. Because as you'll see, and I'm going to dig into this a little bit more, is that really being a copywriter is two things: being really good at copy and being able to build a client base. So let me just let a whole other group of people in. So that is something that you'll have an opportunity to access at the end. I'll tell you how. And this workbook is actually a proven path. So it's actually something that me and the Write Your Way to Freedom students have worked together on over the last 5 years. And the point of it is to make it getting those first few clients as low stress as possible, because you just simply follow this 90-day plan. There's no overthinking, there's no overwhelm. And people usually get clients well before the 90-day mark, but we like to do things for about 90 days. It's my favorite time period to implement anything new, because that is, I mean, it takes 66 days to really, really make a habit. And so I want things to feel second nature. And so, yeah. And also the great thing about this is that you don't need a ton of time to do all the steps. You can kind of just like blindly follow the steps, and everything takes about 30 minutes or less, because I know we're all busy. And usually, again, when people are trying to make that jump from whatever it is you're doing right now to being a copywriter. Most people who come into the Write Your Way to Freedom program have full-time jobs, sometimes have multiple full-time jobs. So we try to make everything bite-sized pieces, something that you can do consistently and easily. So if you don't know me already, I am Sarah Turner. It's me. And just real quick, a little bit about me, just so you kind of know like who I am, why I am, somebody who can be teaching on this subject. I am a sister. I am a new mom. I'm also recently pregnant with my second, I'm expecting in June. Those are my dogs, Loki and Archer. I'm obviously a copywriting mentor. And I have over 10 years of experience in copywriting, 5 years in teaching. We've had over 6,000 and 39 students come through Write Your Way to Freedom at this point, which is pretty incredible. I have learned just as much from them, I think, as they have learned from me. We have weathered some storms together, the pandemic, recessions, all kinds of things, AI, and it's just been one of the best experiences of my life. Write Your Way to Freedom was named number 24 on the Inc. 5000 list this year, which is insane and amazing. Me personally, as a copywriter, I have earned my clients over $37 million in revenue in the service sector, which is a little bit harder to earn big numbers in than the e-commerce sector. And then also recently last year, I was hired as a meta consultant for Facebook. So to teach their creative directors copywriting. And that was also a really nice chance to jump in there and give my own spin on things. Talked a lot about ethics, conscious copywriting, which I think Facebook could use. So that was nice to get to like squeeze in my own philosophies on all this stuff as well. So yeah, so that's just a little bit about me. I would say most importantly though, my students are like the best thing about everything that I get to do. They write for Google, Forbes, Fenty, which is Rihanna's brand, Alaska, Audi, USA Today, Angie's List, Curology, Gaia Herbs, Cleveland Clinic, you name it, it goes on. The list goes on and on and on. And I only share that really because it's just, adds credibility to the teachings that I have, to share with you that we really know what we're talking about, us and the people in our program. But most importantly, I would say, and where my heart really is, and I know a lot of people's heart is, a lot of my students, again, most of them actually write for small businesses. So that's one of the beautiful things about being a copywriter is as long as there are businesses, there's going to be a need for copywriters. And serving small businesses, helping them, stay afloat during economic shifts and other like unexpected things, even the pandemic, that's a really powerful part about being a copywriter that I don't think a lot of people realize at first, is that you're actually really impacting people's lives because you're helping businesses stay in business during tough times. You're helping businesses thrive. You're helping businesses that you believe in, because you get to choose who you write for, that you believe in, really like thrive and be able to hire more people and do better things in the world. So it's pretty awesome. I do want to touch on the fact that I specifically teach freelancing. So I teach freelancing, not getting a job as a copywriter, because the freedom truly is in freelancing. So, and I want to talk about that because it's really important to understand a few things, to understand like if copywriting is even for you or something you'd be interested in. So when you are freelancing, and the reason I am a massive advocate for freelancing and not getting a job is because you are untying your earning potential from your time, meaning you're not charging hourly and you're not getting paid a salary, right? So that's important because that's the reason when you see online when people are making great money and not working full time, it's because they're not charging hourly. They're charging based in value. And I want to explain that real quick. So charging based in value means that, for example, let's just give an example actually. If you were to create a sales page for your clients, your dream client, you love what they do, you're super passionate about their business, and you are writing, you write a sales page for them that's going to help them sell whatever they do. For me, it was functional medicine doctors helping people with chronic illness get well and get the things that they need and the resources that they need. So if I write a sales page and I charge my client $2,000, which might sound like a lot at first, but they go on and they use that sales page and it earns them $10,000 or maybe $100,000, they're like, that was the best $2,000 I've ever spent in my business. And that's why copywriting in the way that I teach it and the way that, especially as a freelancer, is so freaking powerful and valuable. And it's just, there's almost like nothing better than when that happens for you, because your clients are literally thrilled, thrilled to pay you well because you are having such a profound impact on their business. So I want to just share a quick example of this from a student in Write Your Way to Freedom. So she shared how, what she does is powerful. So he had no online presence when he started. And then she wrote a website for him, which she learned how to do through my program. And then within 2 weeks of his website going live, he closed on projects that brought in $350,000 to $400,000 to his website. So this is somebody who had a ton of experience, who was having an impact on the world. She was super passionate about it. And she got to go in and help him reach the right people, because that is what copywriting is. Copywriting is so many different things, right? Websites, emails, blogs, product descriptions, which we're going to dig into. But really good copywriting, ethical copywriting, conscious copywriting is truly like matchmaking. You're speaking to an audience that wants what, your client has, and you're communicating like what you have to offer and how you can impact their life, and then they get to work with you, and then that's how we create ripple effects. Anyway, so I just want to make sure that we have a really clear understanding of what copywriting is, why it's so powerful, and how people are able to actually earn such great money. And usually, as you'll like here, copywriters don't usually work full-time hours. So because of all of this. So when you understand all of this, it's easy to see how freelance copywriters can make great money, and why they don't have to work, 40 plus hours a week. So but it's also important to know that there's a right way and a wrong way to build a copywriting business. Like, I was one of those people who built a copywriting business incorrectly at first. That's how I learned so much, because I was charging an hourly. I was charging based on the number of words I was writing. I was making all those mistakes, right? I didn't know how to charge based in value. And when you're a copywriter, you have to learn how to do that, because what you're doing is so freaking powerful and so important. So, as I mentioned, copywriting is really, being a good copywriter and a well-paid copywriter really requires two very simple things. It's being good at copywriting skills, which is like simple to learn. You just have to learn it. It's just like learning anything else. Most people who I work with have to unlearn some of their classroom tendencies, because copywriting is actually writing in a much, much, much more conversational tone. So I came, from a science background. I had to tone it down. I sounded so boring and so stiff. And my first feedback on my copy was like, nobody wants to read this. I'm yawning reading it. Like, calm down, Sarah. So that's usually what people find when they come in, is that it's a lot more fun. There's a lot more creativity. There's a lot more just like connection and empathy. And yeah. And so I always joke that we were all copywriters as kids, because we knew which parent to go to ask for something and how to ask for it, right? Like, that's literally like a simple example of what it is to be a copywriter. Like, what things are going to pull on mom's heart, or what things are going to pull on dad's heart, or whoever it was in your life. And that's it. It's just communicating to the right person in the way that they will receive it and hear it best. So that's really like what copywriting skills are. It's understanding that, it's understanding human psychology and connection. And so it's actually like a lot of fun. It's honestly better communication. I just did a student success story with a woman named Jessica in my program, and she said something that I have said for many years, that copywriting made her a better person, because it made her able to communicate more directly to people, to communicate her needs, and to just be more clear, and to not be afraid to ask for things. So that's all that copywriting really is. And it's, something that just can be learned like anything else. So the second part of having a successful copywriting business is client acquisition. So building a client base. Again, I teach freelance copywriting. That's actually a really important distinction to make, because other copywriting programs, almost all of them, in fact, are people who worked in-house at agencies and then they teach copywriting, but they don't know how to build the freelance part. So they're often limited by just like how much they can earn and more importantly, like the freedom that they have. So yeah, so client acquisition. And that's why in this workshop, I want to go through some of the copywriting skills and like what you'll think through. And then at the end, I'm going to share with you how you can access a client acquisition workbook, which helps you walk through the second part of being a successful copywriter, right? Okay. So how do we get there? The other question that people often ask me is how long does it take to become a successful copywriter? Now, this is something I got to make sure like I'm super clear about. Again, I think some of the other like copywriters in the industry kind of do all of us copywriters a disservice. Like this is not a get rich quick situation. This is a career. This is a career that you're building. This is a sustainable career. This is a career that will give you life and grow with you and shift with you and change with you. It's honestly the only thing that's kept my attention for 10 years. I am somebody who gets bored easily. I need to be learning. I need to like, I like to learn. I like to learn. I like to grow. And for me, that's why copywriting has lasted so long in my life because it is an ever like growing thing. So I always tell people when you are a copywriter, you are a forever student, because that's just how it works. Like there's always places to get better. And it's really wonderful for adapting with different seasons of your life. Like when I had my first baby, to be able to slow work down and like ramp work back up is also another reason I'm a huge, huge advocate for being a freelancer and not working that 9 to 5. Okay. So how long it gets there depends, right? I have had so many people who have come into the program and they've gotten their first client in 2 weeks. I have had people who've come into the program and not even opened it for a year. So much of this really like depends on whatever you can put in. The one thing that I have seen consistently is that if you can put like 30 minutes a day towards whatever it is you're working towards, that is going to move mountains. I always say minutes moves mountains. Setting aside like 8 hours on a Saturday to work through stuff is actually not what I recommend, because one of the things that's also really important is if you're going to try and make this big lifestyle change where you have total time freedom, you're only working like 10, 15 hours a week, you have plenty of money to cover your bills and to support friends and family, you want to start kind of living that life like as soon as you possibly can. So I never recommend like grinding away for 8 hours at anything. It's so much more likely that you will see success if you commit to a certain amount of time each day, 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours. If you have more time, great. But when I mentor people and they sit in front of their computer for like 8 hours a day grinding away, I've seen how there's diminishing returns, right? How it actually ends up working against them. So there is a sweet spot. I would say that most people who work with me start to earn money getting their first few clients around the 3-month mark. Again, remember, you're setting up a career. So a lot of people go to university for 4 years and then they have to get out in the real world. So it is a fast track, but it is something that takes time. I'm going to jump over to the comments. Oh, okay. I'm going to save the questions for the end. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing anything. Yep. Cool. Okay. So yeah. So then the other question that I'm often asked is, would I even like it? Like, would I even like copywriting? And that's why what I want to dig into next is this workbook. So this is going to be a look behind the scenes. So, and what it means for you and how it kind of like fits into your own personal financial goals. So let me exit out of this. Also, you're about to learn how I am not the most tech savvy person. And so if you are not the most tech savvy person, you are in good company, my friend. My team like makes fun of me all the time. They're like, how do you even check your email? Okay, here we go. Hopping over to this workbook right here. Can you see the workbook that says, it still looks like it's this thing. Let's do a new share. Okay. Do you see the workbook? It looks like it's not sharing what I want to share. Or you just stop altogether. Day in the life of a copywriter. There we go. Nope. No, ma'am. There we go. I did it. Okay. Okay, so this is a workbook that I'm going to give you at the end regardless, right? And this is something that has a lot more to it than what we're going to go through together. Let me pull up my chat so I can see what you guys are sharing with me. Um, Okay, so this, I'm going to give this to you, and we're actually going to, at the end of this, kind of circle back to the top where we go through like how you can make this fit into your financial goals. But this is what we're going to do. We're going to pop down to this example right here. So a couple of things that, you want to do, we're going to use product descriptions as an example because product descriptions are like a shorter piece of copy, right? You've seen product descriptions in your day-to-day life. They're probably only like 100 words, 150 words, depends on how complicated the thing is. Sometimes they can be longer. Product descriptions as a newbie copywriter starts at about $200, or I'm sorry, $50 a product description. Once you're a little bit more experienced, you can probably charge around $150 to $200. So for like I like to be super realistic and under promise, right? Because then it's like nice to have a pleasant surprise. So we're going to talk about these as if you're going to get paid $50 to write a product description. And we're going to go through writing one. So this is when you go through this workbook yourself, what I actually want to encourage you to do on your own time, because we just can't do it here together as a group, is to actually time yourself going through writing these product descriptions. And anytime I've had somebody time themselves, it usually takes them an hour, 2, maybe 3. And what that tells you is because there are 4, $50 a pop, $200 total, that tells you about how much you would make in like a working hour. So if it takes you an hour, then you just earned $200 an hour. Now, I'm only using that because most people coming from the employee world are used to that like hourly exchange rate. And it's just really easy to see how you're going to make great money as a copywriter, right? But again, we're not charging based on hourly, right? Because we know better. We're charging based in value. So in this product description right here, I'm breaking down some of the things that I do as a copywriter. So I'm going to highlight in orange. This is for me. These are going to be the elements that call out for the reader and make them think, wow, this is for me. Green is going to be the features, the highlighted things that are facts about the boots. Whereas pink will be the benefits. And we always, as a copywriter, what you'll learn is you want to take the features, so like the nitty gritty of like, what is this thing, and translate it into benefits, oftentimes the emotional benefit, right? And then yellow is handling objections. So anytime you've gone to buy something, you've always had an objection. You're like, I don't have time. This is like maybe too expensive. Name objection. And so that's another part of copywriting. These are like the most important things. So in this Anthony lace-up boot example we've got here, I go, you're a well-rounded guy who takes pride in how you get the most out of your life. Boom. What did I do in that first sentence, huh? I called out exactly who I'm talking to. I wanted this person to be somebody who thinks of themselves as a well-rounded guy. These versatile boots, that's a feature, are sophistication of a dress shoe and the utility of a hiking boot, right? I actually skipped it. Are for your multifaceted lifestyle, right? Calling back out that same person, made with the sophistication of a dress shoe and the utility of a hiking boot. They'll take you wherever you want to go. So here I talked about feature, 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 and then I translated it into the benefit for him. So now he's like, okay, like I'm a well-rounded guy. Yep. And anyone who's like not a well-rounded guy, even a woman or anyone else, they're going to be like, this isn't for me. And they're going to move on. And that is good. That is actually how you write ethical copy in part, is you want to tell people who you're not for. Like, all products and services are not for everyone, and that's okay, right? It's important to say, like, this is for this person and not for this person, because again, you're being ethical when you're writing copy, when you're not trying to just sell to everyone, when you're trying to actually get into the hands of the people who actually want your product or service. So then I say sleek and adaptable, just like you. So orange, again, this is for me. So the person who it's not for has already left the page. They're done. They're like, this isn't for me. That's a good thing. The person that is like, this might be for me, is sticking around and leading a little bit more. These leather boots pair handsomely with jeans, dress pants, and chinos alike, right? So I labeled the benefits here, made him imagine like what this might look like and feel like your beloved leather jacket. These Anthony boots have that already broken in feel. So they come ready to be your absolute favorite go-to boot. So green was the feature. They have an already broken in feel, which is going to appeal to a lot of people who've tried on new boots and are like, ugh, these are super uncomfortable. So then we move on to they run true to size. This is a feature. And then I start to handle objections. But if you receive them and they don't quite fit, it's a breeze to return or replace them. We offer a lifetime guarantee. So now any objection that this person might have had around, what if it doesn't fit? What if it's the wrong size? Any of that, it's been handled by this lifetime guarantee. So I'm going to keep moving on, but you get the kind of the point here, right? And this is a really simple one. Like there's, again, every kind of industry. This is just a boot, but I wrote for functional medicine doctors. I have people who write in sustainability brands. I have people who serve, parents, new parents. I have students who write in like the textile industry, which like blew my mind that was an industry. Real estate, legal, health and wellness. It's like, it's endless. Honestly, the students of Write Your Way to Freedom surprise the heck out of me all the time with the niches that they come up with. I'm like, what? I have a woman who writes for service dog trainers, like there's literally everything. So this is just a simple boot, right? Just to kind of get the idea of what it looks. So I walk you through this and then I have you start that timer so you can figure out about how long it is. So now I want to do this one together so we can get some like feedback going in. So this is for the Lightning streaming service. So Lightning streaming is a home service that streams movies 3 days after they come out in theaters. Essentially, a customer could watch movies that are still in the theater at home. Lightning Streaming Company is marketing to movie junkies that don't want to go to the theater but don't want to be behind on new releases. So it's also ideal for people who enjoy hosting watch parties, people who need to stay at home for their health, and people who are tired of spending outrageous amounts of money at the theater. The streaming service costs $20 a month, has no ads, and has a free week-long trial option. So one membership is allowed on up to 5 devices, and a customer can cancel at any time. So I want you to first think about for a second and write this down and actually drop it in the chat. In a sentence or two, just describe one type of person that would benefit from the Lightning service. Now, a tip, a trick that I really love to give people about copywriting is something that is super helpful for writing copy and will actually shortcut a lot of the like mental like work, is to imagine someone in your real life. If it's you, that's easy. For me, I chose my sister because she's an absolute movie buff and she has kids and it's hard for her to get to the movies, but she wants to like see the movies right when they come out. So drop in the chat some people that this would be perfect for. Yes, new parents who can't get to the cinema. An introvert. You don't have to sell yourself, Linda. There's no selling of yourself in copywriting. I'm happy to announce. You're just talking about the things that you write for people. A parent of 6, there you go. Those with mobility, limited mobility. People with mad cash who own home theaters, probably. Elderly, disabled, someone with social anxiety, people who live in their pajamas. Yes, movie buffs, budget conscious film nerds. I love that. Are you a budget conscious film nerd? Wait, that would be like a great way to call out the right person. A shift worker, so good. Oh my gosh, these are so good. People who have, physical issues, long distance friends who want to watch movies remotely, older folks who still enjoy the movie but can't get out, elderly, mobility issues, people with anxiety, people having a lazy day. Yes. Immunocompromised. That was a good one. People who love movies but hate peopling. I love that one. Those who work the graveyard shift. Yes. Someone who doesn't live very near a movie theater. Yes, people in rural areas. Yes, people who work remotely. Yes, 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 yes. Busy schedule, larger screens, stay-at-home dads looking to start a new career, showing for nursing homes or senior centers. So good. Girls who want to get emotional throughout sad movies without getting judged. Oh my gosh, I relate to that. Like, I just want to cry. Expats. Yes. Expats. That's a good one. Awesome. Okay, guys, this is so good. Okay. So let's name now 3 characteristics describing the person above. So what, like, with the Anthony boots, I said they were well-rounded, multifaceted, sleek, and adaptable. So now going with your person, you don't have to use all the ones. You can just stick to the one person that you came up with. Name 3 characteristics that they would call themselves, right? Because that's important. You can go ahead and drop it in the chat. Subtitle junkies. Subtitles are like an addiction. Once you start getting on subtitles, it's hard to get off. Busy, hardworking, yes. Cozy movie nerds. Love that. What else? Anxious, budget conscious, into high tech, exhausted, in need of a date night, tired of theater prices, uncomfortable, using walking aids in public, time managers, home theater, versed in actor work. Need a pajama day? Busy, homebody, disabled, control freaks, fickle. I love this. I love this. Yes, entertainment for call centers, innovative, charming, life changer, embarrassed by what they wear, frugal, loud laughers. I'm like, oh no, loud laughers. Go to the movie theaters. I want to hear you laugh. Pause. Pausers that need another beer, snorters. Oh my gosh, you guys are hilarious. Okay. I love it. Okay, so now I want you to, people who yell at the screen, talking to the movie screen, people who ask questions. I have to like work on that one. I'm like always asking questions. Okay, so now for the next part, let's name 3 features of the Lightning surface in the first column. And then the second one, I want you to translate it into benefits. So think of the features as facts and the benefits as to why those facts matter. And even better if you translate it into like the emotional benefit. Like, actually, I'll like a feature might be, it can be used on 5 devices, and the benefit is that you can share it with your friends. So I'm going to actually scroll back up to the top so you can read the description right here so that you can find different features. So if you want to drop it in the chat or write it down, either way, write the feature and then like a dash and then translate it into a benefit. Priced well, people who are on a budget. 3 days after theater release, up to date, recent, yeah, in the know. $20 per month pays for itself and the cost of 2 tickets. That's for our frugal people. Home streaming, comfort at home. Yep. 5 devices, kids in the other room. Less than 1 date night. $20. Yep. Convenient. Can watch it on a time that works for your schedule. What's the watch party person? What is the feature for that? So what would be the benefit? Comforts of home. Wear whatever you want. Yes. It's user friendly. Convenience. Enjoying from the comfortability of your home, not having to drive anywhere, not having to miss out on parts while taking a bathroom break. Trendy new movies that you can pause. Try out the free trial. Free trial, no risk. Yep. Ad free. Never wait through commercials to see what happens next. No ads. Never get interrupted during the movie is the most exciting part. Rural peace while keeping up with the outside world. Ooh, Linda, I love that. Hosting watch parties, able to spend time with friends and family abroad. Somebody had mentioned expats before. That's a good one. So this is a great option for an expat. What would be the benefit to an expat? Somebody want to give me an option? Eat the snacks you want while watching the movie at home, or shove the snacks in your purse like I do. I'm just kidding. Multiple genres. Watch what you want without judgment. Yes. Keep streaming through your high-tech needs. Subtitles, that'll be good for me. No ads, no lines. Comfort, economical, yes. Any other new ones? Exact show times, watch when you want. Affordable, no commitment. Connection, yes. More access to movies in the theaters 3 days after the release. Awesome. Expat, stay connected to friends and family and what they're enjoying. Free week-long trial, try before you buy. Current, can discuss with friends. Culture-friendly options. Guys, so good. Okay. So the next thing is like what, like at this point, you guys have named Dirty Theaters No More. You've basically written a product description. So what you want to do when you write a product description, and maybe let's try to throw together a quick one. We'll spend like 5 minutes on this, but you want to call out the person that you're talking to. We already did that by describing who they are. So the personality traits, the characteristics that you used, like I did in the first 2 lines. So you're a well-rounded guy. You're somebody who likes to stay up to date with the current trends, but you live in a rural area and it's really hard to get to the theater, or you have kids, right? Pick one person because that's important. You don't want to talk to everyone. You just want to talk to this one person. And then take that feature plus the benefit combination and explain to that one person why they would like lightning streaming. And then handle an objection. I know you're probably wondering if this is for you, but guess what? There's a free week trial, something like that. And then any last details. And that is how you write a product description. So I'm going to give you like 5 minutes. If you want to drop it in the chat, I'd love to read it. So it'll be like a shortened version of a product description. Just make it like 3 sentences, kind of touching on the main things here, right? And also keep in mind, again, it really helps to just write to one person. Yeah. Yes, there will be a recording sent out after the fact. All right. Does anybody want to drop a little short one in the chat? Yeah. It's okay. I know it's a little bit late. So at the end of this, I know you guys are all working really hard. I love it. Remember, I'm gonna share this link at the end so you can also go through this because there's actually a few other examples and I walk you through this multiple times, right? You've got a chocolate company, and then a stressless chess curriculum. Say that 3 times fast. You live in the boonies, but you want to see the latest movies. I love it, Sandy. That's so good. So this will walk you through that. For the sake of time, what this exciting product does for you is saves you time, money, and undue stress. Yes. Yes. Exhausted mom, too tired for a date night, bring date night home for only $20. Yes. A month with no commitment. You had a long day at work. That movie ad you saw is available with a click of your remote. Relax and enjoy. These are so good, you guys. If you have issues going out to the theater, feel uncomfortable due to incontinence, that streaming service is for you. You can watch new movies 3 days after the release in theaters. If you don't like the service, you can cancel at any time and no penalty. This is like speaking to such a specific person. If you saw that and you were struggling with that, you would be like, this is literally for me, you know? Juggling your busy schedule, but still cherish that date night to catch up on new releases. Now you can in the comfort of your own home with a lightning streaming service. Michaela, amazing. New parents in desperate need of a date night, but the cost doesn't seem to worth it between the babysitter, the movie tickets, the snacks, not mention being able to put on an acceptable outfit. Well, streaming at home right when the movie comes out, unfinished. Jamie, excellent. On its way. Are you sick of driving to the theater only to drop $50 on stale popcorn and get stuck behind a commenting phone answer? Ugh, annoying. Yes, Rachel, you hit on all the things for that person. Christian, always looking at your phone, distracted during ads. Lightning Stream service has no ads. Enjoy your entertainment uninterrupted and focus. Hey there, broke filmmakers. Want to stay up on every new release and still eat a couple of times a week? Lightning services for you. Get all the new releases for $20 a month. Cancel anytime. Say no to the big streamers and say yes to being in the know. I love that last line. All right, we've got a lot of great ones. I want to keep moving just for the sake of time, but seriously, I'm like, this is impressive. Okay, so let's head back to, give me a second. Okay, so that is kind of like what it feels like, right? Obviously, with practice, it gets easier. Let me find it. Okay. So this is what we worked through, this workbook, and I will share the link with you at the end so you can keep on going. Let me pull the chat out. Oh my gosh, bring the big screen to the small screen, no pants required. I love that one. Okay. So this is a product description. And as I mentioned before, there are many other kinds of copy. And people often find that they actually prefer a particular type of copy. If you tend to like more technical stuff, you've got your white papers. And if you tend to like more casual stuff, you've got your product descriptions, your emails. There's seriously so many different types of copy. And also, obviously, as we've kind of discussed before, niches. And I want to make sure that I'm letting people in because people are still coming in. Okay. So the next question, obviously, that people always ask is how much can I earn? So as we kind of went through, it's pretty easy to see why copywriters can make great money. Now, when you understand, especially how to base in value, I'm going to hammer that home because I've seen people become copywriters and then get a 9-to-5 job and they're like stuck. So let's use the example. This actually comes from that workbook, but let's use the example of when you are pricing based in value. It's a little bit of a shift that you have to go through in your thinking because you're no longer charging hourly and you're no longer getting a salary, right? So, but you do have to kind of like break things down. So what I have people do is set up like their desired annual salary. So let's say you want to make $100,000 a year. So there are 12 months in a year, and when you divide it by $100,000 divided by 12 months, you get an $8,333 a month salary, right? And let's say there's 20 working days in a month. That's using 4 weeks, 5 days for 4 weeks. So sometimes there's a few more. And that gets you a daily income target of $417. Now, we just went through an exercise that shows you how you would earn $200 as a copywriter at a newbie rate, meaning after you've been doing this a while, and I don't mean like a long, long time, I mean like a year, you start to establish credibility, especially when you have a niche and you start to gain a name for yourself and you start to get referrals. Because remember, being a successful copywriter is 2 things. One, being really good at copywriting skills and learning them and practicing them, which we just did. And two, being really good at client acquisition. So when you start to get clients and you start to have a particular type of copy that you like in an industry that you like, and you also get to choose who you write for, you bring on clients. Now, another thing that's important to understand is as a freelance copywriter, you'll have multiple clients. Typically, you only need between 3 to 5 clients in order to have a thriving freelance career. And one of the benefits of that is that what I like, people often, when they're coming from like a 9 to 5 into the freelance world, they say to themselves, or they say to me, or in the community, even, it just feels unreliable or unstable. Now, as a group, as a community, we have gone through pandemics and recessions and AI and all other changes. And when we went through all that, what we realized is that, and this is something that I realized as a freelancer for a long time, is that when you have multiple clients rather than all your eggs in one basket at with a particular company, you are not going to have the income rug ripped out from you overnight. So like in the pandemic, when there was a panic and a lot of people like lost jobs and were laid off and things like that, I was worried about the people in my community, right? But what we found is that actually many of them ended up becoming the breadwinners because their partners lost their jobs, were laid off. But when you're a freelancer, your income is split between 3 to 5 people. So even if a client walks away, you maybe lose 25% of your monthly income. But because you're really good at client acquisition, you know how to go and replace that. And then that way you're not living in this like, oh my gosh, everything could be taken away from me all at once. So it's something I like to point out. Now, can you make $100,000 as a copywriter? Easily. Yes, 100%. Most people in my program do not want to make $100,000 a year. Most people in my program are much more interested in the freedom that they get, because you want to know what's better than money? The freedom to do whatever you want to do whenever you want to do it. And that is time autonomy. And time autonomy, let me tell you, when you get a taste of that, you can't go back. My husband actually recently made this shift because he works a 9 to 5, and he recently got to experience time autonomy, and he was like, now I know what you're raving about all the time. Like I can never go back to not having complete control over my time. So the freedom to work with clients that you love. When you're a freelancer, you get to choose who you want to work with, right? You get to say no to people who don't see the value in your work, who maybe don't treat you very well. You get to work with the people who you're super, super passionate about. And you get to work from anywhere in the world. So that might be going on trips, that might be being there for family. And you never have to ask for permission, right? So that is the other thing. Not having to ask for permission, pretty awesome. And you have the freedom to give freely. So next, that's the best part about being a freelance business owner, is that you get to decide what success looks for you. Okay. So now we're going to talk about AI. I see you guys chatting about it in the chat. Because this is important. People are wondering like what AI has done in the industry. And as somebody who literally works every day with thousands and thousands and thousands of copywriters, I have a very, very good understanding of what's going on. And I always am going to shoot it to you straight. So what happened last summer when like AI was like really kicking off, we were like freaking out a little bit, not gonna lie. Everybody was like, what is going to happen to copywriting? What does this mean for copywriters? But what happened is some people lost clients. Not gonna, I'm again, never gonna sugarcoat it. Some people lost clients because they're like, I'm just gonna use Chat GPT. What they found out is that Chat GPT and all other tools are not nearly anywhere close to writing and including everything that needs to be included in copy. It's not great. Not to mention, you actually like the input is what results in the output. So you still have to be a trained copywriter in order to get a good output. You still have to be a subject matter expert to be able to get a good output. You still have to have all of the knowledge, all of the experience, all of the strategy in order to get anything kind of good out of it. So what we've seen, because now there's been a massive copywriting bounce back as clients started realizing that they prematurely fired their copywriters. I would say that most people though, didn't like, it wasn't like a lot of people lost like their clients. Actually, it was surprising. It was, most people were like, I still don't know how to use this. I still need your help. But there's been a big bounce back. So one of the things we realized is that AI has been one of the most important tools for copywriters like that ever like has come online, because it has allowed us to to help us with ideation. So I don't know about you, but for me, coming up with examples was something that was always like hard for me. But you can type into ChatGPT, like, give me some examples or ask me questions so I can come up with examples. So it's become one of the most amazing ideation tools that we've experienced. It's also helping us do our jobs faster because it's helping with research. You have to always check it's what it gives you for research though, because it does this thing called AI hallucinations, where it actually creates things that are completely fabricated but sound real. In fact, a few lawyers have gotten in trouble for this. So you need to obviously like still do your due diligence, but it's helped us with research. It's helped us with ideation. It's also increased the volume that we can put out. So people are actually making more money in less time. So I've been seeing some of my students jump into making 10K a month, $20,000 a month. There's actually a video on my YouTube channel of one of my students, Cassidy, who started having $20,000 months because AI has made her so much faster at her job. So it's actually been increasing what we can put out. And also like literally goodbye to writer's block. You'll never have writer's block again because you can just get it to ask you some questions and you'll be like, oh, okay. So it's also creating, it's also upping the value of good content. So what's happened with AI is that there's been a flood of really low quality content, which has made what copywriters are writing even more valuable. So we're actually able to charge more. This is like a crazy thing that I could have never predicted. But it's been just what's been playing out. So honestly, I'm like all about it. It was something that scared the shit out of me when it started because I was like, oh no, am I gonna like not have a job? And now I'm like, this is amazing. This is like the best, one of the best tools that's ever come online for us as copywriters. So it's really wonderful. I've actually incorporated an AI into Write Your Way to Freedom. And it's also increased the value of like human connection and creativity. And I'll actually tell you a real quick story about Meta. I was hired by Meta to teach copywriting like last fall. And I asked them, I was like, why don't you just use ChatGPT? And they laughed. They're like, have you seen what ChatGPT puts out? Have you seen the AI tools? It's horrible. And I was like, I mean, I think it's horrible, but I just wanted to hear what you guys said. So I'm really, really glad. So anyway, AI is helping copywriters with suggesting headlines, outlining copy, coming up with metaphors and examples, proofreading texts, especially if you use voice dictation, which also helps speed up the process, asking for editing suggestions, and so much more. So what I love about copywriting is that it allows you to have a positive impact in the world because you get to choose who you write for, as I mentioned, while growing your income and freedom to life-changing levels. Now, I want to go ahead and invite you guys to consider joining Write Your Way to Freedom. This is my program that includes weekly live Q&As with me. Feels a lot like this. 2 coaching calls each month. The course that is the actual program itself. You also have access to copy editors who are trained in copywriting. So they are amazing. They're not there to like help you with punctuation. They're there to make sure that you're writing true copy that's effective and will get your clients results, because that is how you make great money as a copywriter and how it feels really good because you're like having a serious impact. So as I see it, there's always 2 options. You can stay in the same place, try to spin your wheels online, figuring things out, or you can commit to following a proven roadmap. I literally created this roadmap because I was so sick of seeing freelancers get taken advantage of by content mills who will charge you like 3 cents a word. That's what happened to me. And to make sure that they're getting paid well for their hard work, right? So my copywriters make great money. There's a reason that they make great money, because I help them set their prices accordingly. So, If you would like me to help you build a lucrative freelance writing business, one that grows your income and freedom to life-changing levels, while having a positive impact with the world, you can have a strategy session. I'm going to go ahead and drop that link with one of my people on my team. They are the kindest, most loving people, and they are really there to make sure this is a good fit for you. So as I mentioned, the magic happens when you are a perfect fit for Write Your Way to Freedom. It doesn't do us any good to bring somebody into our program who this is not a good fit for, right? That's not great for us because you're not happy. So that's why we have these calls. We have these calls to dig into your experience, your dreams, your desires, what you want out of this, and we will help point you in the right direction. So I'm going to drop in the group chat. This is the link to go ahead and schedule a strategy session with my team to see if Write Your Way to Freedom is right for you, if this is the path for you. And that is also, they will be the ones that have that client acquisition workbook for you when you book that call. And they are going to help you understand how to best use that. This, as I said, was a thing that me and the program students have put together over the last 5 years. And so it is something that we know works and works well. We actually host challenges in the community where people will collectively work on it together. And then at the end, they always have a few clients that they work with. So I hope you're a part of the big bounce back that we're experiencing, because it has been freaking fun to use AI, to implement AI, and to see how it's actually really elevating the experience for copywriters and making their lives a lot better. So, yeah. And I just want to share with you, we are actually out of time. I did watch the questions as we went through, and I'm pretty sure I answered all of them. If you have any follow-up questions for me, you can go ahead and email me at freedom@SarahTurnerAgency. Also can go ahead and just going to go ahead and drop this link a few times so it's easy to find. You can go ahead and email me. It's me. I always answer those emails. I love helping people figure out if this is the right path for them. And I definitely want to go ahead and encourage you to, if this has been on your mind, especially if this has been on your mind for a while, there's usually a reason for that, to go ahead and book that strategy session. You're going to talk to seriously some of the kindest people ever. Like, my team is just like so full of heart. And when you click that link, just so you know, kind of that you're on the right spot, it will look like this. So we do have an application, again, because we want to make sure that we are helping the right people. And yeah, so go ahead, click that link, fill out the application. And if you have any questions at all, you can email me. freedom@SarahTurnerAgency.com is my email. But if you've ever received an email from me, which means you have because you're here, so you got this link from an email, you can just hit reply. So you don't need to write that one down. All right, you guys, gonna leave you with this link one more time. Go ahead and click it out. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. I hope you have a wonderful day. Yes, the bonus is with the sales team, because it does require a little bit of explanation to make sure it really works for you. Because it's actually for people in Write Your Way to Freedom. So people who have, just an understanding of client acquisition and stuff like that. All right, snag that link, because I'm about to wrap it up here, guys. All right, thank you. Bye.